just wanted to let you guys know that I am going for an MRI this evening of my brain. It's honestly probably the 10th or more MRI that I've had of my brain. I have it done with and without contrast. I have had 4 brain surgeries, 1 styloidectomy, and gamma knife, which is radiation to the left side of my brain. My very first surgery I had I'm sorry, my voice is really weak today. I apologize. The very first surgery that I had, the neurosurgeon put in teflon in between my 9th cranial nerve and my main vertebral artery to try and stop the lightning zaps that I was having. For one reason or another, my vertebral artery started compressing that cranial nerve, which caused the electrical zapping. He said that our brains normally atrophy, which means shrink with age, and he thinks maybe that has something to do with it, because to my knowledge I have never had any kind of a head injury at all. The reason I'm having the MRI this evening is because when I had that teflon placed so many years ago, it was probably, I'm gonna say like 8 years ago, the nerves and scar tissue started to form where that teflon was placed, and it has actually formed a tumor in my brain. He said the tumor is a little bit bigger than the size of a golf ball, and it's causing so many more issues than the glossopharyngeal neuralgia, like trigeminal neuralgia, occipital neuralgia. It's just compounded all of my problems that I have in my skull and my head. So this MRI is going to be to see if the tumor is growing. Fingers crossed it is not growing. It scares me because I'm actually having more and more symptoms that are escalating more and more, so I'm kind of thinking that it might be growing. But I'm trying really hard to think optimistically and not think that way. So we'll see. I'm praying that the tumor has not grown, that it's staying the same. It'll never get better. It'll never go away. But he also talked about how he did not want to remove the tumor, because if he removes the tumor, it's going to mess with my 9th, 10th, and 11th cranial nerves. And he said that's going to compound all of my issues. I would get to a point where I can't breathe on my own. I won't be able to swallow on my own. I would lose complete hearing and vision in the left side. So removing that tumor is near impossible. I'm so sorry. So we'll see. I have the MRI this evening, and then I have the follow-up appointment on May 8th with my neurosurgeon to find out the results of the MRI. But yeah, I'm having a really bad day today. A lot of spasms in my throat, as you can see. And I came out here on a hike with no water, which is really stupid. But I did bring my camera. But I just wanted to update you guys on my health. I will let you know how things are going. Some of the symptoms that I'm having at this point are extreme occipital headaches. If you think of a migraine, which I've had before, it is literally, I'm not kidding, 20 times worse than a migraine. And there's nothing you can do for it. When my husband does massage on my skull, that does help some to relax me. Ice helps a little bit, but occipital headaches are worse than you can ever imagine unless you've had them. My trigeminal neuralgia has been quite bad. It's been still cold here and windy, so the cold and the wind, when it hits the side of my face, it just feels like hot irons hitting my face and just singeing my face, which is the trigeminal nerves that have been affected with all of my surgeries I've had. Started out with glossopharyngeal, ended up with GPN, which is glossopharyngeal. occipital neuralgia, and trigeminal neuralgia. So yeah, I've got all the facial nerve issues, lucky me. But otherwise, life has been good. My grandson started baseball, it's been great. My 4.5-year-old granddaughter, she starts her t-ball next week, so that'll be awesome. So life has been good, you know. It's been it's been good, you know. That it's been the best that I can make it. But please pray for me. I hope this tumor has not grown. If it's grown, I don't know what my future holds, honestly. I know he said if he took it out, I would lose the ability to breathe on my own, lose vision, lose sight on my left side, swallowing, lose that ability. So it's near impossible for me to let him take that tumor out. You know, I don't want to live not being able to breathe or swallow or see or hear on my left side. It's just not an option for me, you know. And this is the worst disease in the world. It's dubbed the suicide disease. I am not going to commit suicide. I would never give up on life. I swear I wouldn't do that. However, there are people that do and have, you know, because they see no end in sight, no hope, you know. And I try to keep hope, and I have wonderful family and friends around me that love me and support me, so I'm lucky. Anyway, gonna close this part of the video. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and pray for me. I would really appreciate it. And I will definitely let you know on May 8th how I do with my neurosurgeon and what the results are. Thanks for watching, you guys, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Later.
I am here to get my MRI. Took my Xanax, and I don't feel any different, but here we go. I have an appointment at 6 o'clock for an MRI.
Okay. And what is your name?
Billy Barton.
Okay.
Should I go in and see if I got a machine? You don't need to me. You can take your purse with you at the market.
Yeah, my purse. Yeah. Ready for this MRI? So we are leaving the MRI, and I posted a little while ago about how anxious I was and nervous and how I hate MRIs. Well, I wasn't able to get through the MRI. I got through about 10 or 15 minutes of it, and I just got so anxious that they had to pull me out of the machine, and I've had to reschedule the MRI for a Monday the 6th, 2 days before my neurosurgeon appointment. Yeah, that kind of stinks. But what I did, and this is dumb and I do not recommend it to anyone, and no one do this, I had some Xanax from about 4 years ago, and I actually took one of those, which was 0.25 milligrams, which is typical dose for an MRI that I'm usually given. But when I have an MRI schedule, the doctor will prescribe one pill for the MRI. Well, this time I didn't have one pill prescribed, and I figured, oh, I have Xanax in my medicine cabinet, so I will use that. So I took the Xanax that I've had for 4 or 5 years, and it was not nearly as effective as it should have been. That's the reason that you throw your medication out after the 1-year date that it says on the bottle. Lesson learned. Because I'm not nearly as out of it as normal for an MRI. Usually I'm really loopy and I'm sleepy, and I practically sleep through the MRI. And I didn't feel that way. So when I was walking back to go to the MRI, I was a little worried because I wasn't feeling that way, and I was like, oh boy, what's going on? And sure enough, the Xanax has expired for enough years that it's not effective like it should be. So yeah, I have to go back and get the MRI done. So I'm just gonna put this vlog up, and you guys know I'm having the MRI done on Monday, and then Wednesday is my appointment with the neurosurgeon of next week. So this is going to be the end of the vlog. Please like, subscribe, and share. And you guys have a great night.